What's up you guys, it's 2bricks and I am so excited to bring you yet another mock. I am very excited about this one, as you can tell, being a huge Back to the Future fan as I am, and having just recently purchased the Ultimate Collector Series DeLorean from LEGO, which is a fantastic set. Be sure to check out my modification video and also full review of the set if you have not already. But today I decided to bring you something that is even more exciting to me, which is a minifigure compatible scaled down version of the DeLorean time machine. This is something that I've thought could really use an update ever since the official set from the back then LEGO Cuso, now LEGO Ideas line came out, and I felt like that set was a really good starting point and gave us a lot of really useful elements like the out of time license plate prints here, and also the flux capacitor print, which is inside of the car right now. You can't really see it on camera right now. As well as some great Doc and Marty figures, which you can see up here in the foreground, the ones from the original film. So yeah, combining that with the new set and the elements that we got there, like the new DMC print, which is a little out of scale for this, but I just love it so much I couldn't resist putting it on there. It just really gave me the sense that I could come up with the kind of ultimate minifigure scale version of this car that I think fans of the franchise are going to love. So there's a ton to look at this with this set today. As always, instructions are available for this on my Rebrickable store. Check the link down in the description and the pinned comment to get your hands on that. And every instruction purchase comes with the PDF building guide as well as a parts list that you can upload to a brick seller of your choice, such as bricklink.com. And then also the digital model as well, which you can open up and you can tinker around with if you want to make changes to the design. If there's something that you're not happy about, you can go ahead and change it and you can get those parts for yourself. So lots and lots of cool flexibility and things to do with that. So be sure to check it out if you're interested. You can totally build this exactly as you see it for yourself. So I think that's very exciting. All right, so on with the review. Let's take a look at all the crazy cool features and details that I packed into this tiny model. Alright, so obviously we're starting off here with the plaque. That did not come with this set. This comes with the official gigantic scale version of it, but I think it's still a nice thing to have because it does just say time machine. It doesn't mention the scale or anything, so if you want to be able to put that with your new DeLorean time machine minifigure scale version, you totally can, and I think that's cool. So here we go. This is all the stuff that comes with the set, and included in the instructions are all of these elements. Just like with the bigger set, it allows you to do the conversions to the Back to the Future 2 and 3 DeLoreans, and actually this little antenna extension here, which you can see right there, is actually an add-on that makes it into a fourth version, which is from the end of Back to the Future 1. So when they're trying to catch the lightning bolt at the exact right second to power the DeLorean. So yeah, there's technically 4 versions of the car that you can make. And even if you want to get super technical and specific, you can say there are 5 versions, because if you take the tires off, you can simulate the wheels for the kind of a railroad track version, where in Back to the Future 3 they're actually they're placing the car on a set of train tracks. So there's 5 different iterations here for you to explore and play around with. So yeah. I actually managed to pack in all of the different details and features that you would want to see on a DeLorean, other than just the transformation of the different, substituting the parts for the different versions, but actually packed in the action features you would want to see as well, including the ability to make the wheels fold down correctly like you would expect for the Back to the Future 2 version, and the gull-wing doors, which open up and actually stay open, unlike the UCS set. They need no help. They can just open up and stay open. So I'm really excited to get in and show you guys all of that stuff. But for now, I just wanted to give you this overview of all the different elements that I included. There go the tires. So I have the white wool tires here for the Back to the Future 3 version, and then yeah, the car itself. So let me just clear away some of this stuff here, and I'll show you each film version and how to convert them, and then you can kind of get a sense for all the cool stuff that's in this little model. Alright, so here is the car as it appears in Back to the Future 1, and you can see here I have attached the out-of-time license plate on the back. We have a nice representation for all of the engine detail and the added time machine functionality that Doc Brown put onto this thing, and this is the detachable lightning rod here, so I can go ahead and just pull that off. So that just attaches here to this little exposed bar piece in the back. So without that on there, you can see in here all the different wiring and cylinders and little elements that are super accurate to the movie. Like you got these little red cylinders in here and this little roller skate piece representing some of that extra engine detail. You have the fusion kind of fuel entrance, or the fuel port here, and this blue detailing, and the little kind of, I don't know what this is supposed to be on the side here, but the little detailing where there's actually like two little kind of rods side by or on top of each other here for this detail, but I just have the single one in there to represent that, because obviously space is at a premium for this. But I have the really nice representation in here for the lights, so they go from trans clear to red to orange, just like they should in the actual car. The very basic strip down back here with just the frame remaining, where Doc Brown's removed all the windows and all the rest of that stuff to put the time machine elements into it. The white section here represents the sort of I guess electricity elements, the conducting elements that when the car reaches time traveling speed, this kind of glows blue and electricity kind of runs through it. And I felt that the white color was a pretty good substitution for the metallic silver that we got on the car, because it's bright and it catches the light and it differentiates it from the gray of the base car. So I thought that was the best option I had available, given the parts that exist in white versus the parts that exist currently in silver. So there's that, and then you can see here it just wraps around the underside of the car like it should. It has these little blue connection points, just like it has on the top here. And then we have the gull-wing doors here, which are able to open up, like I said. So you can do both of those really easily, and you can just grab them by the wing mirrors. Those aren't going anywhere. And you can have the car open. So obviously the pillar here doesn't go with the door. The pillar is attached just to the main car body here, to the main kind of frame. But I think that having the actual, this section of the body or the door just open up, and then with the black interior and everything like that, I think that is still a really good look, and but definitely as good as I could expect it to be at this scale. So that's something that I really, I thought worked out really well. And then, there's a little bracket piece, or a little, what do they call it? Oh, a panel piece right down in here that catches the inside of the door, and it just makes sure that it doesn't close too far, or keeps it in the exact right spot. So that works out just perfectly. And there's just this like really nice tolerance in here for where everything just fits, and it just goes in there really nice and snug, and all comes together very, very satisfyingly. So really happy with that. So continuing down here, we have the piping, which goes around the bottom and over the top of the wheel there, and connects into the front section here with this little blue detail. And then again, really authentic detailing here to the car. It actually tucks underneath this section and goes kind of threads through into this section right here. And then in the actual in the UCS version of the car, this comes in and you actually plug in it up here. So what I did is I kind of simulated that. So this hose pipe actually comes in and terminates down at the bottom there, because it just simply isn't long or flexible enough to do that. But I kind of simulated that by having these additional these black horn pieces right here that represent the top of the wiring, just plugging into this element up here at the top. So I think that works really, really well, and it's a very convincing illusion to make it seem like this is all connected the way it should be. So I'm really happy with that. And then this just hose pipe here connecting into the front, and then again to the front bumper here with this this nice element here, looking like it's just ready to catch that electricity and go back to the future. So yeah, the front headlights here, I'm really happy with the way that this whole kind of section and the grille works out. I have the flat headlights. It's very, very 80s, very boxy, and then the hood using this single, very specialized piece. Obviously, you don't have the ability to open this up because it is just a large attached piece, but I think it works really well. And again, with the wheel arches, they are in the dark bluish gray, but I think that that's definitely close enough. It doesn't bother me at all. I would love, if these eventually come out in light bluish gray, I would love to get some of those and be able to replace them and to look even more accurate, but I think for what it is, I think it works out just fine. So yeah, pretty much identical detailing, at least for the main body section here, going down side to side. Just the only difference being the little bit of internal detailing up here being a little bit different. So yeah, there's that. So there is the main kind of stock version of the car. And then let me just let me show you the Back to the Future 2 version, and then also I'll show you the interior and minifigures fitting in there as well. All right, so to do the Back to the Future 2 conversion, it's actually really, really simple, much more so than on the large model. So you just pull off this section right here with the this whole kind of sub-assembly here with this detailing for the fuel tank, and that's designed to all just come off in one go, and then you just have this whole, like, you know, piping detail and everything goes with it, and then you put that off to the side, and then you get the Mr. Fusion reactor here, and you just go ahead and plug that into the spot where that piece just was, and you just line it up where the slope comes down really nice and satisfyingly into the license plate area there, and then you take your brick separator and you pop off the license plate. Again, much easier than on the large car, and you put the futuristic version on it, and so that's the kind of main area of conversion done there. And then you can see here the Mr. Fusion reactor is highly detailed for its scale. I have the red minifigure hand piece there representing that clasp that you see on it, and then the kind of plastic top lid there where you would add your different food items, and then this little area where you could see what's in there, the different junk food items and trash that powers the thing, and then that just plugs in there really nicely, and it sits at a really nice height, I think, for the size of the car. I think it fits just right with where it should be, so that's really nice. And then you want to go ahead and convert the wheels, so all you do is you grab onto these black sections under here that hold the wheels in place, and you pull each tire out because you want them to sit at the exact right angle relative to the car when they're down, and so each one of these then flips up like so. And that was a tricky thing to figure out because getting the tires to flip around while still attaching and having the car actually be able to roll was all really tricky, just engineering wise and spacing wise, getting those to sit exactly where I want them. So just place these two clear stands on here just like the large model has, and then it sits on the wheels. So I think that is an absolutely superb look. I actually love it. This is my favorite kind of iteration of the car here. And then you just, of course, add the hoverboard. So I have just a single clear brick under there to support that, and then we have the studs here for Marty to be able to stand on it and do his little hover action. So this lime green at the back here with the pink on it represents this kind of foot strap that exists on the real thing, and then Marty can just hover along alongside the car. So I think that works out really great. So then, yeah, as far as the conversion goes, that's all you have to do for Back to the Future 2. Really easy, and you don't have to disassemble anything, take anything apart really, too much. And I think it's a really convenient couple of different functions to swap out, and you really have a whole new car. So it's very exciting. So yeah, while I have this here, let me give you a look at the interior, which we have not seen yet. So let me pop open these gull-wing doors here. So here we have the flux capacitor piece, which was a printed element that came with the Kuso set, which I really love. And then I've included detailing in here on the sides of these really nice plush chairs. So you have the blue lighting in here, and I say lighting, indication of lighting with trans clear bricks. So you have the yellow and also green. There's a tiny little hint of the green sticking out. You can't really see it super well, but let me just pull the seat back forward, and you can see in there's green and yellow. And that's, again, super accurate detailing to the actual car itself. And yes, the seat backs do come forward. That's not really a feature because the headrests are up here, and they're technically supposed to be attached, but it was the easiest way for me to get nice realistic looking seats in there. So there's two studs for each of the characters to sit. We have the little clear kind of box detail in here that I think feeds into the flux capacitor, and then we have the steering wheel column here, which is really nicely set up at an angle, and then the large steering wheel, which actually sits correctly offset to where the character sits in the car so that it's lined up with their hands. And then under here you can even see the instrument panel underneath this slope piece is present. And then again we have another print here for the time kind of selection console, and then these two, this is a fairly standard printed piece that comes in a lot of different sets, but it's just like the offset kind of speedometer or other elements relating to the time machine aspect. So there's that, and then under here you can see there's a in the actual model, the car itself, there's a large bank of lights up at the top here, kind of almost makes it look like an airplane cockpit. So I've just gone ahead and represented that with this trans yellow clear piece here on the top. So let me go ahead and place Doc and Marty in there. So we have here's Doc, and then we just basically seat them as you would in a normal figure, and you place them in. This hair is a little bit large and cumbersome, but once you get it out of the way, That works out just fine, so he can sit back really nice and comfortable looking. And then we put Marty in here next to him and just line him up with his studs underneath his legs there. And there you go. So you can place the hands, like I said, right up there by the steering wheel. They sit side by side with no problem. They don't interfere with one another. And you can have, you know, either one, their hands up or down. And then you can go ahead and close up the doors. So I really like the way that these pillars look, but they are like, they're not technically attached, but I have these minifigure hand pieces in here that just kind of secure them into the right place. You can see it just perfectly kind of notches into this brick right here. But you do have to sometimes finesse just a little bit of the way that those are set up, but they should stay pretty close. But yeah, I think that's a really great look when you see them both in there, ready to drive to the future. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So let me do the Back to the Future 3 conversion, and then we'll take a look and kind of wrap up this video. All right, so to Back to the Future 3 your set, that's really fairly easy to do. So you take this large box section here, which again is really nicely detailed up, and I followed a lot of the details that you could see in the larger set, including these two tubes right here, this orange section, this large bit of wiring that comes off of it, the grates here, and the little clear element. That's all very closely matching the large scale one. So you just basically plug in the two studs of this one clip and bar element right here, and you just push that down so that it's lined up correctly with the hood, and there that is. And then you leave Mr. Fusion and you leave the license plate as is, but you just bring the wheels back in. So you just a matter of flipping those around and pushing them in, like so. I'll do the same on the other side, like so. And then we simply remove the stand for the flying version, and then we take out each of these wheels. So you literally just pull the actual wheel itself out, and then you replace it with the white wall tires versions. So you just do that for each of your 4 wheels here, and you just it slots into this little clip piece, or this little Technic bushing piece in here, which is loose. So when you pull it out, those can fold out. So I just leave the car stationary, so that piece right there, and then you just pop the wheel in and it just engages with that piece back there. So last one, and there we go. So, and if you make sure that the wheels are all lined up exactly correctly and they're level to the ground, the car will roll absolutely no problem. So yeah, you really get the best of all worlds with this set, because you can have the car roll or fly or be in any of the 3 major versions of the movie. And then, yeah, I was mentioning, like, if you want to have the train wheel conversion here, you literally just pull off the tires, and these make for great train wheels that you can just attach back in place of these white wall tires. So yeah, that all works out fantastically. And these are 2 different styles of Speed Champions wheels. So these are the first generation ones, which had a single stud on them and the ability to just basically swap out the different rims, and then they had little inserts for hubcaps and things on top of that. These are the newer generation ones that allow you to put a full 2x2 round element in here, so that I've taken advantage of that to get the white walls in here. So you do have the 2 different styles, and if you're not, you know, if you don't intend to do the white wall version of the car, you can just leave those Speed Champions wheels out. Although I think they are fairly easy to get a hold of, because they've come in quite a lot of sets now at this point. So it's really not a huge deal to get your hands on those and have that extra set of wheels. So there you go. All right, guys, so that's about going to do it for my look at the Back to the Future DeLorean time machine. I think if you are a Back to the Future fan and you have the large model, I think this is the last thing that is left that is kind of an element that you could have that would kind of complete your Lego Back to the Future collection in a really, really satisfying way and make it feel like you've really got everything you need, other than, of course, official Doc and Marty in cowboy gear for the 3rd movie. But I'm pretty sure it's easy to swap out some heads and get some cowboy gear from existing Lego minifigures. But yeah, I think this really does give you the full package. I mean, the ability to place your Doc and Marty figures into a DeLorean that fits them, to have all of those authentic movie details and have it really look right, like it's actually from the movie. I think it just works out fantastically well. So hopefully, if any of you guys out there are as big a fan of Back to the Future as I am, you will love it as much as I do, because I do love it. And I think I may even love having this on my desk more than the large version, only because just it brings me so much joy to see Doc and Marty in there at the controls getting ready to go on an adventure, where Obviously, the large car is beautiful, but you can't do that. You know, maybe if Lego can come up with a large figure scale for their big cars, they can eventually do some figures for all of the different cars they made up until this point. But yeah, so this is everything that you need. The instructions do come with everything that you see here, other than the figures, because obviously, and also Marty's skateboard there from the first movie. But it does include the instructions for the hoverboard. It gives you all of the different wheels and inserts, and also the swappable elements as well. So you really have everything that you need. And if it is difficult for you to get a hold of those printed elements, such as the 2 license plates, I would just suggest swapping those out for a standard white and orange tile, and also the flux capacitor piece. You know, that may end up being expensive. So what I'm probably going to do is come up with a brick built alternative for those of you guys who are looking to build the car, but not maybe potentially spend an arm and a leg if you didn't already get this set when it was out. So hopefully you did pick it up when it was out, because I know for me that was one of the first like instant purchase little sets to come out of the Kuso line there. I thought that was such a fantastic idea. Even though I didn't love the final look of the set, I actually think that the fan designer had done a better job, at least aesthetically, than the final set did. But you know, I understand why it had to be a certain way. But yeah, so now we have, well, at least in my opinion, there is a suitable version of the car to go with the excellence that is the design of the new DeLorean. So hopefully you guys love it. And that's about all I have to say. So thank you guys again so much. For those of you who do end up buying the instructions, thank you so much for the support. It really means everything. It enables me to keep producing things and buying more sets so I can get more parts, so I can give you guys more different mocks and things like that. So much appreciated. So yeah, that's about going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.